So back in early 2000, maybe 2001, um, I was living in Phoenix, Arizona, and I was working for this delivery company. It was kind of a glorified pizza delivery place, but it was called, I don't know if it still exists, but it was called Delicious Deliveries. And basically, it was kind of a food catering company where we picked up food from restaurants that normally don't deliver. Typically more high-end restaurants, not necessarily all high-end, but yeah, typically it was more high-end restaurants, and we delivered it, to people that wanted the shit. And well, you know, I was working, and I worked there for like shit, I don't know, maybe 2 years. Easy job, good money. I picked up some food from a steakhouse in Scottsdale, Arizona, called Don and Charlie's, and they're just a high-end steakhouse, steak, lobster, whatever, it was a high-end steakhouse, and got a huge order. It was like almost $300, and it wasn't usually those types of big orders for like catering stuff, like for lunch, shit like that. But this was at night, so I only work nights, and well, dude, we have little Nextel walkie-talkies. This is old school before smartphones and shit. Like, Zach, what's up? Don and Charlie's, $300 order. It's going to Stevie Nicks' house in Paradise Valley. I'm like, okay, I'm on the way. You saying these Stevie Nicks? Yeah, Stevie Nicks. Yeah, that one. Yeah, she ordered. Don't fuck it up. I'm like, okay. Anyway, picked up the food. And she, at the time, I don't know what she still does, but Stevie Nicks, singer of Fleetwood Mac, lived on the backside of Camelback Mountain, um, right on the border between Scottsdale and Paradise Valley. So, got the address, drove up there, security gate, buzz, got a delivery, buzzed me in. Walked up there, right, and I drove up there, and then parked as close as I could get to the door, and there's this, long set of stairs, and it probably isn't that long unless you're carrying 300 pounds or $300 worth of food, right? Get to the top of the stairs, ring the doorbell, get in. Oh, and by the way, if you're curious as to what they ordered, now there was, I don't know, dozen and a half people there. For whatever reason, they ordered like 8 dozen frog legs. Frog legs. Now, before I got up there, just because I'm a dick. Well, not really because okay, I'm a dick, but I was curious. Like, I can't afford to eat frog legs. Like, that's kind of like, delicatessen shit that, I can't afford, especially when I'm like in my early 20s, or that I would ever spend the money to buy. Well, I ate one in the car because, there's like fucking several dozens of frog legs. Like, anybody gonna take time to count that shit? If you order several dozens of chicken wings, you actually count that shit? I don't. I just assume that there's a dozen. Ain't gonna miss one. Tasted it. Not bad. Not bad. I'm glad I did, because now I'll never buy them. But anyway, I did eat one of their frog legs. I consider that a gratuity. Well, I get in there, and it's a really nice. Well, it's more than a house, but not quite a mansion. It's a semi-mansion, and I go in there, and like, because this particular company that I worked with, Delicious Deliveries, it was more than just like a pizza guy where you go up to the door, ring the doorbell, hand them the food, and they hand you some money, and you go away. It was a little bit more detailed than that. I had to go inside. Now, all this shit's in to-go boxes, right? I'm not an actual waiter, so I don't actually cater and dish out their shit. Although I walked up and there was this giant black marble table that was at least 12 feet long. People are sitting at it. People are up having some drinks. I walked by this one room, and there was like it was like a little mini library. I mean, I didn't go inside it. I just walked by. I looked because I'm like kind of starstruck and curious. Like, ooh, Stevie Nicks' house with this. And I looked, and there's just like all these. The whole room was nothing but books. You know, and I remember this one guy. He was dressed in a black suit and a maroon undershirt, reading book, just in there, reading, whatever. But so I go into the dining room, I guess you'd call it, and I started setting up the food. I mean, I didn't serve it, but I just set it up, like took the shit out of the bags, put it there, said, this is your fucking frog legs, -1. But I didn't say -1. This is your frog legs, this is your steak, this is the pork chops, this is a fucking chicken, this is your Parmesan bullshit. I set all that shit up. And but I didn't see Stevie Nicks, but on her credit card, it had her name on it. So it was like, this is old school. Like, this is like, like receipt. Like, we had to get like the manual imprints, put the fucking actual credit card machine, and go, and some dude's like, I'm like, I need the physical credit card. And he was like, oh, because some dude was trying to sign for it. And, but old school, couldn't do that. So I was like, yeah, I need the actual credit card. So sat there for a couple minutes and just observed, looked around. Really nice fucking place, as you would expect from a rock star of her caliber. But I was like more interested because there's always been these rumors that she's a witch and she's a pagan and Satanist or this and that. And listening to her music, I mean, it's she's obviously into something, but to the degree I do not know, nor did I know, nor do I still know, to tell you the truth. But I'm looking at her walls, and they had some very interesting paintings and some statues and shit around. And they're very, I want to say satanic, but they're not like just like, fluffy goddess Wiccan type shit. They're more like paganist type stuff. Looking at it, like, I remember one, it was like the god Pan, and it was big, like a couple feet wide circle, and it was like Pan with the cloven hooves, and he has a pipe in his mouth and shit. I remember looking at that, and I was like, damn. And again, you know what, if I had before the smartphones, so I didn't have the ability to take a picture of this shit, but I just enjoyed the ambiance, looked at it. And then, lo and behold, Stevie Nicks appears around the corner, and it could be because I was starstruck. It could be because she's just that fucking awesome. She appeared in front of me, and, she gave me her credit card and said, here, do I need to sign? I like, the machine. Yes, please. I was humbled in her presence, and it most likely was that I was starstruck, but at the same time, I mean, she had like kind of an aura around her. I mean, not a visual one that I could see, but she's had a presence that just humbled me, and again, it could have been that I was starstruck, but I was really seriously just humbled in her presence, I thought of something like really cool to say, but all that come out of my mouth was, I love your music. Thank you for the years of great music. And she was very humble and said, thank you. I appreciate that. And I was on my way. That's it. But, if you listen to some of her songs, especially like Gypsy or Sarah, there's a lot of occultic themes going on. And a lot of that might have been the time, in the late 60s, 70s, or that was kind of a poppy thing to do. So several musicians did it, but based on what I've observed, I mean, she actually is living it, and I've met several celebrities, including Marilyn Manson, including several others, where I've never been like in the presence of somebody that just like really humbled me as a person, just like really kind of like rattled my foundations, the vibe, I guess you want to call it. I don't want to say aura or whatever, because it makes it a little mystical. But the vibe she gave off, I could feel. And again, it could be starstruck. I'm not going to like equate any like mystical experience to it. Could just be that. But first time and last time I've ever felt that.